Those of you who are filmmakers out there know that before you make a film, you're gonna do some planning, some prep, right? You're gonna write a script. You're probably gonna get a shot list. Maybe you're gonna storyboard the whole thing. You're gonna get things ready. And you're also gonna know that when making a film, you could have everything planned out, but you know, it's not, things don't always go as planned, right? Things often crash and burn. Today I want to tell you a story about how the beginning scene in my latest short film, Cutthroat Part 2, was an absolute dumpster fire. All right, so I cut it short there because it is really hard for me to watch that. I'm gonna get into everything that went wrong because it did not go according to plan. But let's backtrack. I wanna say it was around the middle of 2022 when Chandler and I had the idea to make Cutthroat Part 2, but it wasn't until a couple months later that I got to work on it and started the pre-production process, which for me included pretty simple stuff such as writing a script. I storyboarded the entire thing, well, the entire beginning scene. I didn't write a script for the whole film because there wasn't a bunch of dialogue in the montage scene. We were just gonna figure that out as we went. And then for the finale scene with Chandler and I, we knew what we wanted to happen in that scene, but we didn't really script it till the day of because we just knew we kind of, you know, improv, and that worked out fine. But I wanted to get the beginning scene fully scripted out. I even rehearsed with my actors, which is something I've never really done before actually. Usually because it's just me or I don't know, whatever. But I actually got them both together and we kind of went over the scene. I had them read their lines so they kind of knew it was gonna happen. And then the next thing I needed to figure out was the location. At first I thought we might go to a park. There's a park near us that has a table, we could do it there, but then I thought, that park doesn't, I can't do everything in a park, okay, come on. Then I thought, you know, there's this coffee shop I know of that some of my friends work at. I wonder if they would be willing to let me film at this coffee shop. I thought that'd be a really cool setting, and it upped the production value because it's a public area. So I asked the owner. He said, yeah, that's totally fine. And so I was pretty pumped. I mean, you know, I've never been able to film in a public area like that, like a store setting, you know, so I was like, this is pretty big. Obviously we were gonna film when it was closed. It was only closed on Sundays, so we would film after church. And since it was a public area, that's why I wanted to be really prepared, so we could get in there, know exactly what we were doing, we could be efficient, so we could get it done and not have to come back multiple days. So Sunday comes, we go to church, then we go over to the coffee shop, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous. I always get a little nervous before a shoot, especially because it's at this area. I wanted to make it all really good. I was doing most of everything. Now, I do have some awesome brothers who were helping me. My brother Jake was helping film, and we also had some friends there who were just hanging out while we filmed. So that also, not gonna lie, added some pressure on me, just having other people there watching. I guess I always feel rushed a little bit when I'm filming with other people. When it's by myself, I can take as much time as I want. When there's a bunch of other people there, it just makes me feel a little bit like, I don't know. It's a me problem. And then also my brother Jake and I, we don't have the greatest communication. What I mean by that is I have it all in my head, and we had not really gone over stuff before the day, which was my fault. So there's a lot of on the day, like, okay, here's what I want, do this, do that. A lot of the time he thinks what I want to do is a bit overkill. Maybe. I just like to get multiple takes if we need it. So that was another factor to the whole day. So as we're filming, things aren't going terrible, but they're not going fully according to plan in my mind. I'm kind of compromising on shots that I wanted to get, just saying, you know, that's fine, let's move on, let's get this. I wanted to get done before it got dark. We had like 4 hours, and we did not finish before it got dark. We almost got there and it got dark and we're like, you know what, stop, we can't go on. We need to come back next week. And that really made me upset. It just was like, my heart kind of sunk because the day had not gone as I saw it going. We were rushed to beat the daylight. We failed. A lot of the shots I thought were subpar because we were moving so fast. Just la da 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 da. I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to go home and watch the footage. But then again, I didn't want to see that footage. I don't know. I'm always scared to look at footage a little bit, especially because I knew how the day just didn't quite go as I wanted it to. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be seeing things I don't really like. But nevertheless, I have to look at it. So I get home. I'm looking at the footage. You know, it's a mixed bag. I think I would say it was about a 70-30 ratio of like 70 stuff I wasn't a huge fan of. 30 stuff I was like, you know what, that works. Which isn't great. But then I thought, you know what? Maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Things went so bad that we will be going back another day. Reshoot some stuff I didn't like, and as well as finishing the scene. And then I got to the audio. Now this is where my story goes dark. It's real dark. Basically what happened is I had two H1N, I think it's what they're called, H1N Zoom recorders that I was using for this scene. There was 3 actors who had dialogue, you know, so we just had to rotate the recorders around, you know, to get all of our audio. So I grabbed the first one, I listened to it. It's good. It's real good, okay? I get the next one. I listen to it, but the only difference is I'm not listening to anything because there is no audio. There is no audio on that card. When I say my heart sunk, it like went down and separated into each one of my toes. It was horrible. Basically, one of the cords needed to be flipped around, plugged in the other way, something like that. And so after, you know, being depressed for a little while, I just was like, you know what, maybe it's not as bad as I think. So I start to think, I start to pace back and forth, just discussing it with myself. I mean, that's honestly how I work through it. Talk with myself and we work something out. So basically we did that. I did that. Let's be civil. Let's be sober here. I figured out that, you know what, it wasn't all bad. We were gonna have to reshoot some stuff, but we were already gonna reshoot some stuff. So basically it ended up being more like 10 to 20% good, 80 to 90% reshooting, which is kind of bad, but I honestly wanted to do that. I was that unsatisfied with the day. I said I was gonna get even more prepared for this one than last time. Basically what I wanted to do was get a shot list this time. That's my biggest mistake the last time. I think I needed a shot list rather than my storyboards. So I wrote out a shot list of each shot I wanted to get, each shot I wanted to redo, the dialogue we needed. I got really prepared. The week is going by. The hourglass is time is moving. We get to about midweek and I'm meeting with my friend Jordan and he says, hey, I actually am not available this Sunday because I am gonna be at a wedding. Of course you're gonna be at a wedding. And of course you only tell me like the midweek. So I was like, crud, that is a problem because guess what? I had a wedding to shoot on the Sunday after that Sunday. So I was kind of screwed. Obviously, if we can't film those Sundays, we're just gonna have to film the third Sunday, putting it at like a month and that this has been going on. Couldn't do that because of another continuity issue. So in the film, there's a scene with Jack and his girlfriend. My girlfriend was played by my friend Sandy, and she lives in Alaska. For some odd reason, no one really knows. She was in town for 3 weeks. So I got a hold of her. I said, hey, you wanna be in this film? Because she's also into acting. She said, yeah, let's do it. Here's the catch. For that scene, my neck needed to be clean shaven, kind of like it is now. For the beginning scene, my neck had to have hair on it, right? You know, had to look like whatever. And she was gonna be gone if we waited till that third week, right? So I thought, okay, what am I gonna do? And then I got it. Basically, what I'm gonna do, shave my neck. I'll film with Sandy. Then in the 2 weeks we have, like 1.5 to 2 weeks we have until the third week, I'll just grow the hair back out. And we'll have hairy necks and we'll be able to, no, I'm not saying that. I'll have a bearded neck and we'll just film on the third week. So that was the plan. I shave my neck. We film with Sandy. It goes fantastic. Second week comes, I film my wedding. Third week approaches. Again, I'm prepared this time. I'm prepared. I got my storyboards. I got my shot list. We're approaching Sunday. It's almost too good to be true that we're close. I'm a little nervous because I'm like, if we couldn't pull it off last time, maybe we can't pull it off this time. But we would never get to pulling it off because our family gets sick. Basically what happened is we got sick. Obviously that screwed up my plans. We can't film when we're sick. I've been dealing with this for, you know, a month now, I think it was. And I was over it. When I say I was over it, I was. So over it that I said, you know what? Scrap it. Scrap it. Do it. Throw it in the trash. So I did. I scrapped that script. I scrapped that scene at the coffee shop. And I wrote something completely different. And you know, that was a bit of a hard call for me because I had worked so hard on, you know, drawing each individual stick figure as well as, you know, just the weeks that have been put into the people who were involved in that scene, you know, we had some extras there, we had my friend Jordan who was acting, you know, it was just more of a bigger event, so to throw it all away was kind of hard for me, but you know what, I would be much more happy with this film if I scrap it and start over. I just was not liking the way it was turning out. It's hard for me to watch that scene, it was not going right. So I set out to write the new scene. It was honestly just a big sigh of relief. So I write the scene, and guys, I love it. I love the new scene. It's fantastic. It starts out with a cleaning dance montage, leading into an intense bike chase between Jack and a paperboy, going into the woods where it gets real creepy, and then a nice fight takes place inside the woods, leading to a Jack hallucinating of Chan the barber being in the woods with him when it cuts to black after he gets punched by the paperboy. It's really fun. I guess the moral of the story is this, that things are gonna go to Hades. I think if you're willing to be flexible, to roll with the punches of the situation, and if that means being so flexible as to scrap that scene and try something new, do it. But whatever you do, stick it through. Stick it through. If that means finishing that scene out, no matter how bad it is, finish it out. If that means writing a new scene, write a new scene. Get it done. I think you'll be better for it, and obviously enjoy it. You got to enjoy the craft and learn from the mistakes. That's what I've learned. Anyway, guys, if you haven't seen Cutthroat 2, check it out, one of these corners. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Have fun out there, make some films, and I will see you next time I pick up the camera. Cheers.